Greetings, everyone. Today is Thursday, and we continue our daily Psalms for Hope. Today we're looking at Psalm 102. Now, this is a sort of a long psalm, so we're going to kind of break this up, but I wanted to just describe to you what it says at the beginning before the psalm starts. It says, "A prayer of one afflicted when he is faint and pours out his complaint before the Lord." So we've been there sometimes, right? And so I just want to read the first couple of verses here. It says, "Hear my prayer, O Lord, let my cry come to you. Do not hide your face from me in the day of my distress." And then the psalmist kind of continues on with this idea that his spirit just seems to be broken. He's in a bad place spiritually, mentally, emotionally, it seems. But then we pick it up at verse 12, and we'll continue on from verse 12. So it says, "But you, O Lord, are enthroned forever. You are remembered throughout all generations. You will arise and have pity on Zion. It is the time to favor her. The appointed time has come. For your servants hold her stones dear and have pity on her dust. Nations will fear the name of the Lord, and all the kings of the earth will fear your glory. For the Lord builds up Zion. He appears in his glory. He regards the prayer of the destitute and does not despise their prayer. Let this be recorded for a generation to come, so that a people yet to be created may praise the Lord, that he looked down from his holy height. From heaven the Lord looked at the earth to hear the groans of the prisoners, to set free those who were doomed to die, that they may declare in Zion the name of the Lord, and in Jerusalem his praise, when peoples gather together and kingdoms to worship the Lord. He has broken my strength in mid-course. He has shortened my days. O my God, I say, take me not away in the midst of my days, you whose years endure throughout all generations. Of old you laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you will remain. They will wear out like a garment. You will change them like a robe. They will pass away. But you are the same, and your years have no end. The children of your servants shall dwell secure. Their offspring shall be established before you." So you have this psalmist who obviously is in deep spiritual pain, mental pain, emotional pain, whatever. He turns to the Lord. He understands, and we've said this many times while doing these daily Psalms of Hope, that that the focus of our lives is to be to the Lord. And verse 17 says, "He regards the prayer of the destitute and does not despise their prayer." So the Lord will hear this cry of this psalmist, and the psalmist is turning to the Lord. But what struck me in this turning to him is the fact that he recognizes that everything around is going to perish. All the things that God has created that has a physical nature to it will perish. It will wear out like a garment. But it says, "But you are the same. You are the same, and your years have no end." I just find that interesting, on a day like we find ourselves today, in the midst of Advent. There is change happening all around us. It's swirling around us. Every day seems to be a new day of change. Something's different. There's the resurgence of COVID and the changes that are coming because of that. There's There's changes again to our workplaces and changes again to our manners in which we conduct ourselves in public. It just seems to swirl around us, these changes. And I was struck by verse 27, but you are the same, and your years have no end. You see, it's really a good Advent thought, because in the swirl of the change that is around us, God is the same. His presence is the same. And he regards the prayer of the destitute, of those who are swirling mentally and spiritually in the midst of this change. And he does not despise their prayers, because he is the same. He does not change. He is God in the flesh that has come. The plan has always been and always would be that God would redeem the world and that Jesus would come, and he did. And he's going to come again, and he will. So we can rely in the midst of the swirl of change that goes on around us. We can come to and know the fact that this God that we serve does not change, nor do his plans, nor does his mind. He is there for us constantly and consistently, and that does not change. And thanks be to God that he came, that he was born of a virgin and suffered under Pontius Pilate and crucified and died and was buried, and has risen again for the sake of our souls and the salvation of our souls. This God does not change, even though we live in a world that does. And so hopefully that's a helpful thought on this Advent day, that no matter where you find yourself in the swirl of that change and your heart vexed because of it, that you have a God who does not change, is not changing, will never change. And he will be the same, and he will be there for you no matter what change you experience. And so may God's blessings be upon you this day.